I told you this would happen. I knew this would happen. I predicted that this would happen literally years ago. Check out this video. In this video, this is a grown man. Now, I'm telling you that this is a grown man, even though this should be obvious, because this grown man is disguised as a dog. Yes, that's right. This grown man identifies as a dog. He wants to be treated as a dog. He wants to live as a dog. He paid $14,000 to have a quote-unquote lifelike dog suit made. He gets inside that dog suit. He goes in public and rolls over and shakes hands and pretends to bark. And then in public, I don't even know what the right word is. He displays his fetish because he craves validation from other people. I predicted that this is exactly what would happen. I knew that this was going to be the next step of it. Take a look at this. The one that looks like a collie, that's a grown man inside that dog suit. The face of the dog, I will say, the face of this costume does look pretty realistic, but the rest of it, not so much. A grown man is in there. Now, this grown man has his own YouTube channel, and he posts videos of himself, some of which go viral. I think this video has gotten several million views. Posts pictures of himself. He says he hides this fetish from his family and his friends. They don't know that he does this. On his YouTube channel, he only reveals his first name, which is a pretty common first name. Watch this. Oh, this is my favorite part. A real dog comes up to this man faking to be a dog, and the real dog knows that it's a fake dog. If that isn't the funniest dang thing that you've ever seen, the dog is the one that knows that the man inside the dog suit is a fake. Meanwhile, the people around this dog identifying man, that woman, I think she was a news reporter, maybe doing some kind of news package or news story on this, treating this man inside the dog suit like a real dog. The humans are acting like idiots, and the dog was like, that's not a real dog. That's a man in there. What a freak. And the real dog, the little white dog that you saw, was scared and ran away, which is exactly how humans should respond to this guy. This is what I predicted, though. Several years ago, when it was just becoming culturally acceptable to propagate the transgender ideology, I think it was like 2015 was right around the time when transgenderism became a thing. Before that, nobody knew any transgender people. This wasn't something that was talked about. It was gay marriage that was at the forefront. If you were talking about LGBTQ, you possibly had heard of like transvestites or, maybe drag queens, but transgender, especially with the surgeries, was like bananas odd. No one had really heard of it. And then all of a sudden it came onto the scene in 2015. And I said at the time that if we as a society indulge this delusion, and it is a delusion, if we indulge the delusion of redefining what a woman is or redefining what a man is, then what's the limiting principle on that? If the premise of that is there's no objective reality, anyone can be anything if they identify as that, right? If a man can be a woman because he identifies as one, if a woman can be a man because she identifies as one, what could possibly be the limiting principle on that? Does that mean that a grown man who wants to identify as a kindergartner the parents of real kindergartners have to tolerate a grown man in their children's classrooms? This would be insane. I said, or are we going to get to the point where adults are trans species, where human beings are claiming that they are really animals trapped in humans' bodies, and therefore they need owners, and they need food, and they need, I guess, a $14,000 dog suit? This is actually, and I know it's ironic to use the word logical when it comes to the monstrosity that you just saw, this is the logical conclusion of the transgender ideology. This is the logical conclusion of a society that says, well, you can redefine any word to mean anything, and if you believe that you are Santa Claus, then you are Santa Claus. The logical conclusion of this is trans species, which is exactly what you saw in this video. And by the way, I know this is a very edgy take, and I think you will agree with it once you allow me to lay it out for you. The beginning of this madness that we are facing in our country, transgender, trans species, whatever, the beginning of this madness was conservatives and Republicans surrendering the fight on gay marriage. So the beginning of this madness, where we see this grown man dressed up in a $14,000 dog suit rolling over barking for treats, pretending to do dog tricks like shaking hands, identifying as a dog, the weirdest of the weirdos that you can possibly imagine. Like, this used to be some really obscure and kinky sexual fetish, and now he wants to go on the streets of your community and wants you to pretend that he's a real dog. Like, you can't even believe that this is happening. The beginning of this was, or the reason that our culture has been conditioned to accept this, started all the way back when conservatives and Republicans surrendered the fight on gay marriage. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, really, Liz? Really? How exactly are the two things correlated? And let me tell you. So when I say when conservatives and Republicans surrendered the fight on gay marriage, I'm talking about legally. I'm actually not talking about the morality of homosexuality or the immorality of homosexuality. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm talking about is the redefinition of a word that we don't have the power to redefine because it's not something that we instituted. Marriage simply is. It is a thing. It is a covenant. It is something that God ordained, whether you're religious or not. Marriage is widely acknowledged to be something that God ordained. And we as a political body decided that we simply had the right to redefine marriage. And the moment that that happened, the moment that conservatives and Republicans fell for this really a false idea of tolerance, they were told, if you don't support gay marriage, if you oppose this, then you are A, violating the separation of church and state, you are a bigot, and how could this possibly make a difference in your life? How could two men getting married possibly impact anything that has to do with you? They were throwing a very libertarian viewpoint. And Republicans and conservatives fell for this. In fact, I spoke at the Young America's Foundation's National College Conference this past weekend in Washington, D.C. It was a fabulous time as always, but I got a question about gay marriage and about not the religious part of it, but the secular argument against gay marriage. And I want to show you this question and I want you to hear my response. Take a listen to this.
Howdy.
Hi.
I'm Reagan. I'm proudly representing Texas A&M. So
I expected that from you guys.
I'm Catholic as well, and I find it kind of difficult to defend my position on gay marriage from a secular point of view. What is your position on the legalization of gay marriage, and how do you defend that?
From a secular point of view or a religious?
From a secular point of view.
From a secular point of view? Oh, it's super easy. So from a secular point of view, this is not about homosexuality. It's not about two people of the same sex who want to live together, love each other, or make any kind of commitment to each other. It is about authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is when the government or government officials have the power to arbitrarily dictate anything to you, and that you must be required to follow that. So what happens when a society redefines the word marriage is you have a panel of judges, in this case on the Supreme Court, that arbitrarily expropriated this power to tell us that the definition of a word that they have no power to redefine means something that it does not mean. If our government officials, if our politicians have the power to redefine words, then there is no such thing as a free society. Thank you. And that, my friends, is exactly how we got to Dog Man. Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.